First time moving here on 94, I saw a sign, billboard, that on one side said, look, we got concrete, it's amazing. You should buy it, it's for sale, we like it, you probably will too, just call this number. And on the other side, it said, smile, your mom was pro-life. Well look, smiling has nothing to do with it. I was getting in my light reading about concrete here. But then I got to thinking about it, and yes, my mom did make that choice. She did. But when I was growing up, she also chose to wear a purple sweatshirt every weekend that had Tweety Bird on the front. She was saying, don't like my attitude? Quit talking to me. That's also a choice she made. She does not make good choices. If you're ever in a room with people and it's a matter of life and death, you're not turning to the person in the Tweety Bird sweatshirt. I know my mom better than you, billboard. I grew up in a town called Train Lake, Wisconsin, which is a welding shop, a bait shop, and a road. That's about it. I'll give you an idea of what that town is like. One day, my brother and I were riding a bike past the old burned out creamery, and we found a dead beaver in the ditch. We drove back home, got a saw out of the shop, drove back to the dead beaver carcass, cut off its tail, nailed it to a tree in our yard, and then the neighbor's dog ate it. We called that day Tuesday. Not a big deal. There was a girl who drove a white Isuzu Trooper to school after a deer had been strapped to it, so there was just blood all over the car hood for about 2 weeks. And nobody said anything or thought anything of it at all. It's just, do not drive a bloody truck to school. This is embarrassing. You're my sister. There was a kid I went to school with who pronounced the phrase, I don't care, won't care, won't care, like it had 0 syllables. No matter what you asked him, that would be his response in class. It would be like, hey, you didn't do your homework. I don't care. We have to evacuate the school. There's a gas leak. I don't care. According to the United States Census, it is 97% white, 3% other. I lived there 18 years. I never saw a single other. I like to imagine that the old ladies who went out and did the census went to some people's house during taco night and just decided to check the ethnic box. Well, Roger Knudsen down the road, he takes a fishing trip to Canada every year. He's probably foreign. I got my first job when I was 14 years old. It was at a restaurant, and I couldn't drive yet, so my parents would have to pick me up when the shift got over. It was 10 o'clock on a summer night. I called my parents. My dad answered the phone. I said, hey, Dad, you can come and pick me up now. He said, who is this? It's Cullen, Dad. Cullen, go back to bed. And then he hung up. He answered the phone in his sleep and yelled at me. And that was the best phone conversation we've ever had. And it's not because he's a bad person. He's a wonderful man with just really deep philosophical thoughts about culture, religion, politics. He's very well-rounded. But if you put a phone in his hand, he turns into a caveman. He's like, I can't paint a mammoth on this. What's going on? The other day, he called me 3 times within 10 minutes. So I thought something terrible had happened. I told my boss I need to take a phone call. I have to go outside and find out what's going on. That phone call was because he liked my Facebook update. You can't prepare for something like that. That's the problem. When he calls you, it's either the worst news you've ever heard or the dumbest thing you've ever heard. Over the course of a year, he called me 4 times, and these were actually the conversations we had. Hey, Dad, what's going on? Cullen, your grandfather died today. He wasn't in pain. He went to sleep during a nap. The funeral is this weekend. You got to clear your schedule. A couple of weeks later, hey, guess how many squirrels I shot today? I I don't know, 2? No, 7! Cullen, Mom broke her hip. You're going to ask me questions for the next 30 seconds, and I'm just going to say I don't know to all of them. And then we'll find out that I'm talking about my mom, your grandma, not your mom. We're talking about the 85-year-old woman, and it makes more sense. Hey, Dad, what's going on? You ever had a cold so bad you thought you could speak Spanish? I feel like one of us is right now. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I feel like it's important to do things like this. You know, just get out, have fun, go to places. You're about to see Mr. Head. He's going to come up on the stage. He's a rapscallion. You're going to have a great time with him. And then Tim Harmston. Give it up for Tim Harmston. One of the best comedians I've ever seen. It's important to have fun and experience good things. We should make every night a 3-dog night and have joy in the world. If you don't get that reference, you haven't been to enough bad weddings. I try to live my life that way. I work in an office where everybody who comes up to you just complains about their lives constantly. I actually had a lady say this phrase to me one time. I gotta watch my stupid kids alone today. Because my idiot husband's gotta take the cat to the vet. It's the second one we gotta put down this year. Okay, if you're complaining, that's a good one because that's hilarious. But I would rather we didn't talk about things like that. And it's either complaining or it's the weather. Please never talk about the weather. We don't need to talk. I have a memory. I have all my senses. I like silence. Let's just get through this. Otherwise, people are always saying, it's colder today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was warmer. That's what that means. Sometimes it's cloudy. Clouds can be different colors. Clouds sometimes have different shapes. Sometimes wind blows 1 mile an hour, or 2 miles an hour, or 3 miles an hour, or 5 miles an hour. We'll have to do some research on 4. Hit me with a sock full of batteries instead of talking to me about the weather. I prefer it. One thing that I've done to entertain myself when I've been at work in this bad mood situation is walk into our break room. There's automatic lights, so if nobody's in there, it's dark. So when you come in, the lights come on, and you can pretend you had your own surprise party. Even though no one came. Surprise! That might make me crazy, but I'm crazy in a happy way. That's what you need to do. I don't want to be the lady who I saw coming out of my surprise party, standing over the garbage can, eating a slice of pizza, staring at the wall. Just for everyone to see, just out in the open, doing that, not in her home. I want to know what's in her mind while she's doing something like that. It's just... I wonder what love feels like. There's no way I could keep up with Kardashians. The weather's nice outside, but it's winter in my soul. Look, I'm not judging her. You can do that at home. Look, I put hot dogs on mayonnaise. I said that the right way, but I do it in mayonnaise. I do have a lot of really bad habits. One day I was in the drive-thru of Culver's. If you've heard of Culver's, if you haven't heard of Culver's, I think there's like 50 of them in town. And it's the perfect place to go if you've ever thought to yourself, well, I like McDonald's, but they don't have meatloaf. They do have amazing concrete mixers, though. They are the most delicious thing in the world. It's just decadent. Hate myself. Let's do this. And do it 3 times a week. And I was in the drive-thru, and my son, who's 5, was in the back seat. and the song Sexy and I Know It was playing on the radio, and he's singing along to this horrible, terrible song. So I have to pretend I care about this and say, Stuart, you can't sing this song, it's bad. What's wrong with it? It's just not appropriate. And then, he burned me harder than any human being has ever burned me before. He turned to me and he said, Dad, I like Sexy and I Know It. You like peanut butter concrete mixers. That's just the way it is. Yeah, that hurts. It's the most truth in an insult I've ever received. If he ever learns about my other eating habits, he can do the worst thing in the world and like the stupidest stuff in the world, and I have no leg to stand on. He could come to me tomorrow and say, look, Dad, tomorrow I'm dropping out of school so I can watch Medea movies all day and then die of a heroin overdose. You once bought a can of spray cheese and a can of Spam and ate it in your car. It's the thing I did. Sprayed it, ate it, didn't need to cook it. That's the day that I learned I'd make a great criminal, because I did this terrible, disgusting, horrible thing that you'd never tell another living soul. And then I went back inside like nothing happened. Dad, I'm joining a gang tomorrow. Tonight we're watching celebrity rowboat polishers. Because you once ate soap because you thought it was cheese. Saw something orange, threw it in the mouth, didn't think about it. You know where I saw this orange chunk? Not on my stove, not on my kitchen table, not even on the floor, no, in the bathroom soap dish. Where soap goes. It's orange. There's no way that soap could be orange. Have some heroin, son.